This episode of the Home Pros Radio Show podcast is brought to you by HomeBinder, the premier home management app. Receive home maintenance reminders, organize your home's inventory, manage your home improvement projects, and more. Stay tuned to get a free upgrade code for HomeBinder worth over $200.
The Home Pros Radio Show.
I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections, and this is the Home Pros Radio Show podcast. Coming up, we help a caller who's trying to get to the bottom of an issue with her plumbing drainage. We solve a mystery sound that is also plumbing related, and Melanie Stewart Henson with TechHomePro takes on my co-host Shane Hips in our Home Pros Radio Show Trivia Challenge. First, we tackle a question about cracking in one listener's tile floor. This topic inspires a discussion of one common cause of this type of condition, which can be found in our show notes and our RIC Home Inspections photo from the field.
I got this question from Chris in Greenville. I've recently noticed cracks in the tile floor of my bathroom. Is this a cosmetic concern, or could this be a sign that I have a bigger issue that needs immediate repair? How do you know that on a tile floor? That's a really good question, because sometimes, some of these hairline cracks can just be a cosmetic concern. Really, it's kind of like dealing with concrete, dealing with brick.
Right. Make a note of it and monitor it to see if it's getting worse.
To be able to tell if you've got an ongoing issue is if that crack spreads. Also, your mortar. Is you're cracking in the mortar as opposed to the cracking of the tile. If the crack goes through the mortar, that's probably more of a typical situation.
Right.
Than if a crack starts going through the tile itself, you might have something a little bit more hefty going on.
Right.
Because it's kind of like having expansion joints in your concrete. They're designed to kind of crack there.
Yeah.
If the mortar starts coming loose, and you can almost pull it out with your fingers, you might have a bigger issue.
Right.
But, that's the thing is always be aware, especially if you're adding. Like this one house I was in this week, they had added a lot of tile to the kitchen, which added weight to the floor, and it wasn't the original tile. So one of the things I noticed is, like at the kitchen island, when I would shut the cabinet door, I can feel the floor move.
Right.
And that's, it's an indication if you feel your floor. I mean, some floor bounce is expected, but if you're just opening and closing cabinet doors and such, and you're feeling movement, do something to re-support the flooring system.
Yeah, and I would definitely recommend that anytime you're adding a lot of weight, because what I see a lot is like when people were going in and adding all these stone or masonry fireplaces that go out into the room, and they say, oh, this would look nice, the DIYers, and they're going in doing all this, but they never put any support to the ground underneath that. So then the whole thing starts sagging, the whole house right there. So, I've seen it twice in the past month where we had to go in and add extra support underneath that because of all the weight that's added.
But another thing that's causing it is become popular is granite backsplashes.
Yeah.
And that granite, you got a point load. You turn that thing sideways and it's already heavy. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
That could be an issue, just waiting to get worse. Waiting to get worse.
And if you can get underneath it, if it is a crawl space and you're on the first floor, it might not be a bad idea to go underneath and see what's going on, because you could have something like our photo from the field.
RIC Home Inspections photo from the field.
What are you looking at? I know what I'm doing.
Did you see that?
We posted a picture of a joist that was cut out to allow for a toilet drain.
They might as well just cut the whole thing out.
Also, I posted an engineered beam or joist that had been notched to allow for the installation of a shower drain. This is a good visual for how often we do see these things. I wanted to talk about why that's an issue, help you, the listener, kind of understand not only how to fix it, but what the results of something like that tend to be. Because I end up writing them up pretty frequently. We have notch joists here, or we have holes bored where they shouldn't be. God,
what'd you say?
You are so dumb.
I know.
You are really dumb. For real.
Pull up the photo if you can. We have a picture of a joist. This is a renovation. This is something every homeowner should know before they have a renovation done.
Yeah.
Because they need to look for stuff like this when folks are working on their home. In this case, they moved the toilet, but in order to get the drain where they needed the new location of the toilet was going, they cut through this joist and made the connection. Well, on the day of the installation, everything seems to work fine and all that. But what is the issue with something like that, Shane?
You've just weakened that floor support by more than half on that one. I mean, You have what was a 2x8. Now you have less than a 2x4, or the supporting load of a 2x4. Yeah, once you start notching out a joist to that extreme, you are definitely weakening the floor support. I mean, just imagine if that is nowhere near a wall, if that's right out in the middle of a floor, just how weak that area would be right there in the middle of
If you think about a lumberjack and he's cutting down a tree, what is he going to do? He's going to cut a wedge into the tree to make it hinge so it falls downward. Well, basically, with the joist being notched out like that, we're doing the same thing, and we're going to make that joist want to hinge downward. And it makes it even more significant in this case because this is a toilet, which means toilets mean what, folks?
Somebody's probably on top of them, a little weight.
It means point load. Yeah. And people are sitting there on a regular basis, and that will create stress and eventually cause movement. So have you ever had a loose toilet and you might tighten those bolts down and then somehow it ends up loose again? And then you tighten it down and it gets loose again? That could be an indication that maybe we have a situation like this under your house.
Right.
Things to keep in mind and things that make sure that you cover. If you're moving a toilet drain or even a shower drain, we have the photo with another joist. That was new construction.
Yeah, with the engineered
floor joist that was notched out. And there's a difference between how we treat both of them. When you have them engineered like that, you can use less lumber. You can space them further apart, and you can span them further distances. And the reason why is because by design, they're stronger than your typical true lumber. But the biggest issue with that photo is the plumber took out the top cord of that engineered I-joist. And that is one thing that you never, ever, never, ever, never, I need Gronkowski. No.
You don't go mess with engineered products.
Yes, because they're designed specifically to do. So don't notch at all when it comes to beams like that. Now, you can bore through them. They have actual cutouts, but you can only use those cutouts if you have to run piping through them or things like that, because that'll happen. But here are the guidelines. In true lumber, you don't want to notch out the middle third of a joist. The reason is because that's where most of the stress of that joist is. As soon as we start notching that out in the middle of the span, that's where we're going to have that hinging action eventually happen. According to building code, you can notch out the outer thirds, but only a maximum of 1/6 of the joist depth. And at the end of the joist, you can notch out 1/4 of the joist depth. The depth meaning if it's a 2x6, the depth is the 1/6. Gotcha. Or for boring, is this getting boring? When you're boring through and you got to run like piping or electrical lines, your whole diameter can be no greater than 1/3 of the joist's depth. And it can't be within 2 inches of the top or bottom. How do we fix it? I don't know. That's not my department. That's Shane's.
First of all, any engineered product, I mean, you don't need to mess with it. That includes trusses, like, in the attic and all, because a lot of times I see those cut. But, to fix a floor joist that has been cut out, you can header it off, you can sister it. There's different ways to do it.
And there are all kinds of requirements as far as how to do all that, right? And this is the thing about building codes, folks. Those are the minimum standards.
Minimum.
If you ever have a builder going, well, it's code, then you can just look at them and say, well, I guess you're a good enough builder.
I guess you did the minimum you had to do.
Now to our closing contractor mystery sound. Take a listen to see if you can solve this one before your opportunity goes down the drain. Let's share our closing contractor mystery sound.
The closing contractor mystery sound.
All right, we have a new one this week. What is that?
I don't know.
I tried to find one that was easier this week. I mean,
I've got to guess.
The bathroom vent fan we had for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I didn't think that was. Well, it wasn't that easy, but I didn't think it was overly.
Yeah. So here, let's just take a listen. If you have an idea of what it is, give us a call, shoot us a text. My two sons, they were close.
On what the sound was?
They heard me editing it last night, and they were like, is that? And they were close. I was pretty impressed.
I guess I think I know what it is, but I don't know.
Well, if you do, give us a call. Of course, as usual, Scout is watching the phone and the text lines. He's going to let us know as soon as you give us a call to give us your guess or give us the correct answer for the closing contractor mystery sound and your chance to win a Home Pros Radio Show prize pack brought to you by Gyros. Scout's letting us know we've got somebody on the line, and that somebody is Alan from Princeton. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning.
I bet you're
Good morning,
really
Alan.
smart.
Yes.
If he's from Princeton, yeah.
Yeah. What you got for us this morning?
Well, it sounds like the sound that will be made when I drop something into my garbage disposal.
And what could be being dropped into your garbage disposal, Alan? You're from Princeton. You can tell us. You got it.
Well, usually it's a spoon or
Yeah.
a spoon or a...
Or maybe liquid coming from when you're done eating, you take your utensils and put them in the...
dishwasher.
Yeah! Very good. That is it was a recording of the dishwasher cycle completing. The last little bit was being dumped into the garbage disposal. So, absolutely, you are a winner of Home Pros Radio Show prize pack. All right?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Any plans today?
This time of year, it's cutting grass, you know.
That's it, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, Alan, thanks for the call.
Well, I appreciate your show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
That mystery sound was likely similar to what Alicia was hearing in her plumbing system before she called into the Home Pros. We helped to air out the solution to the problem she was experiencing with the plumbing drains in her home. We got a call from Alicia from 96. Good morning, Alicia. All right.
Hello.
You have a toilet question for us this morning?
Yes. I have live in a 2,400 square foot ranch on Lake Greenwood. And the master bedroom is at one end of the house with a master bath. And then there's 2 bedrooms at the other end of the house with another bath, full bath. When someone flushes the toilet in the guest bath, I can hear it in the master bath. And the master bath has a tub shower and a stall shower. I've only lived here 4 years. I don't know why they put both in there, but I can hear it mainly in the shower drain.
You can hear it in the shower drain. So you can.
Correct.
What you're hearing is probably a gurgling of water. You can almost hear the water just kind of passing by the shower drain.
It's more gurgling, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
But I know somebody has flushed the toilet. Or I also hear the washing machine draining also.
Interesting. Any ideas what you think that might be?
See, it's more gurgling. Sounds like a possible vent problem.
Sounds like a ventilation issue.
Yeah, I mean, if it was just water
running.
running.
I was thinking. When I look at the roof, I can only see one vent. And that's down towards the guest
other
bath.
end of the house, right? Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So yeah, that would make sense if you added some kind of vent to where you have actually air going in, or where it can get air that doesn't create a vacuum, to where the gurgling shouldn't happen.
Right. Well, I don't know how they built these houses, but like I said, I've only been here 4 years, and
And you may be able to add a Studer vent at this point in time rather than actually penetrating the roof, depending on, well, if it's only from the toilet, you may have to add a vent to penetrate the roof.
Just like anything else, one way to skin a cat in this business. But we just need to make sure we're skinning that cat properly. But yeah, that's what it sounds like, is that maybe something. I was in a house yesterday where I got up in the attic and I was like, it smells like sewage up here. And then I found a vent that stopped.
You found the vent that ends in that.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what it looks like, Alicia. I hope that helps.
All right. I'll have to get the plumber in and see what he can do.
All right. Thanks for the call, Alicia.
Thank
you very much.
All right. Yeah.
This episode of the Home Pros Radio Show podcast is sponsored by HomeBinder. There is no better way to organize paint colors and home documents, get maintenance reminders, receive email alerts of appliance recalls, and share valuable information about your home with potential buyers. For a limited time, use promo code HOMEPROSRadio, all one word, to upgrade to our premium edition for the life of your ownership. Visit us online at homebinder.com or simply click on the link provided in the show description of this podcast. HomeBinder, a homeowner's best friend.
What's the reason why you might move into a new home? That's the question we posed to Melanie Stewart Henson from TechHomePro as she takes on Shane Hips in our latest Family Feud-style Home Pros Radio Show Trivia Challenge. It's a simple question, but as you'll hear, the answers sometimes don't come very easy when you're on a live radio broadcast. now, we're bringing in Melanie Stewart Henson with TechHomePro. We have time, just enough time, for
The Home Pros Radio Show Trivia Challenge.
and our trusty hosts this morning. I'm going to pit them against each other. Shane versus Melanie. And we take.
I'm going to get my pen.
Yeah, that's right. This is going to be fun. All right, so this is a twist on our normal. This is a different game, if you will. I need a pen so I can keep score. Mm-hmm. This one's going to be tough because it involves math. So we took the information. No, not on your part. On my part. So I can keep track of who's winning. At the Home and Garden Show, we took a survey, asked all kinds of questions of folks, and we have compiled these surveys of these questions. And I have the top 7 answers on the board.
Okay, Steve.
That's right. All right. And Steve Harvey. All right. And all right. So here's the question.
Ladies first.
Yeah, ladies first. Here is your question. Can you give me a reason why someone would, or a family would need to move?
Job.
A job. Let's see what the survey says. Very good. Melanie gets, I see, 28 out of the top out of 100 people surveyed.
Beat that, Shane.
That's right. That's right. So Melanie's got 28. Now we go to Shane. Shane, can you give me one?
I'm going to go with family.
Family. Is it on the board? It is.
I doubt it's as high as job, though.
Family or divorce? Huh.
No.
Family. There's a death in the family, too. We had one of those. Not
How many points I
during
get?
the survey.
About
For that one, you got 12. So we still have the number 1 and number 5 answers off the board. Melanie, can you give me the next one?
Oh, I got to do more?
Yeah, we got to keep going until we clear the board or we run out of time.
Hadn't you ever watched this show, Melanie?
Yes.
Except usually they
Is this
back and
I
forth.
said job, you said family.
Yeah. Another reason why someone will
School.
move. School. All right, let's take a look at the board.
I'm only good for that number 1 answer. That's all I got.
That's coming from a teacher, folks. All right, Shane.
I'm going to go with bad neighbors.
Bad neighbors.
You can see his paper.
Surveys. Are you cheating?
Yes, actually.
That is worth 20 points.
Oh, that was
the number
more than-
2 answer.
A lot of bad neighbors out there.
Feeling pressured.
That's right. All right. Can we give us another
Disasters.
reason why
National
people
disasters.
would move? A national disaster.
Gosh, I am smart. I really am. Just not close enough to your paper.
That's it. See?
He's moving over.
You play games like my sister does. All right. Shane, how about you? What's the next?
Will you repeat the
Take
question,
another one
please?
off the- Oh, gosh. All right.
One of those.
Give me a reason why someone would need to move.
Let's go with work transfer.
That was a duplicate answer of your own answer.
That's my answer. That's the number
she answered
1
that.
answer.
Shane,
You are so dumb. You are really dumb.
right.
For real.
can you give me one? It's just 20. You have 28 right now. Score 28 to 32. One last question. Give me one. If you can get one on the board, you win.
If not, you're a big loser. She's trying to look through the paper.
Go ahead. Just do it.
All right.
Do it.
The rest of the board, we had a bigger house or
Upsizing or downsizing.
to get a better location, or the house is in just plain disrepair. Special thanks to Melanie Stewart Henson with TechHomePro for being such a good sport with the Home Pros Radio Show Trivia Challenge. Be sure to check out podcast episode 54, where Melanie offers some great home security advice and teaches us about smart home systems, which are available through TechHomePro. You can find that episode and more anywhere podcasts are found, or you can have every episode of the Home Pros Radio Show podcast available at your fingertips by downloading the Home Pros Radio Show app, available on Google Play and at the Apple App Store. Download, subscribe, share, and join us as an active member of the Home Pros Radio Show community. I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections, and for my co-host Shane Hips with Closing Contractor, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on the Home Pros Radio Show podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Home Pros Radio Show. If you have a question for the Home Pros, visit us online at homeprosradio.com. where you can contact us directly and also learn more about the topics and guests we bring to you each week. It's the Home Pros Radio Show online at homeprosradio.com or on the radio at 94.5 WGTK, The Answer.